Welcome and give a warm welcome to our first speaker of the day, Ms. Rafiya Sultana. Rafiya is a keynote speaker and award winning mindset coach and a trainer helping people change their perspectives to change their lives by working on mind mastery techniques. She's a master practitioner of NLP, trained by the co creator of NLP, Dr. Richard Bandler, London. She started a journey of self discovery and self mastery after hitting rock bottom a decade back. She will be sharing her journey on how perspective matters to build clarity, confidence, and courage. Over to you, Rafiya.
Thank you, and thank you, Anita, for such a wonderful introduction of mine. Um, today I'm so glad to be here to share my tale of self-discovery. So it starts with a tiny tale of my childhood. So it was Thursday, 1:30 a.m. in the morning. I was sitting in complete darkness on the window of my living room. One of my legs was hanging outside the window and another leg hanging inside my room. There was a 14-story drop to the ground below. What I was doing sitting there? To answer this question, I need to take you back to my childhood. I was born in India in a small town in a conservative community. My mother has been the sole breadwinner for the family of 7 and always worked hard to put meals on the table. So one morning when I was 6 years old, I found a torn newspaper that my mother brought home from the neighbors. And right there, I found my dream, the first Indian women in space. It was mind-blowing to me at that time because to think not only of a human being going into space, but secondly, a woman. Because in my environment, space was something that women were meant to keep clean, not flying to on a spaceship. That moment was the birth of my childhood dream to be an astronaut. And so I dedicated my life to turning that dream into a reality. I read every book and article I could find. I did experiments at home with broken plastic bottles, newspaper, cotton, and old fabric. And eventually, despite our circumstances, I became the first girl in our family to complete a university degree in engineering. After my degree, I began my career in an aeronautics organization. My mother had been a great inspiration throughout this journey. She was not educated, but to me, she was a visionary leader who raised her 3 daughters with respect, dignity, human values, and education. After my degree, I began my career in an aeronautics organization. But not long after my graduation, cultural expectations and the pressure to get married became very strong. I understood that we cannot afford to continue my education, and this pressure from the society led me to take the tough decision to give up on my dream of becoming an astronaut. So I became a wife and a mother, and I was responsible in my duties as both. However, I thought that I will survive this. I was frustrated, angry, helpless. I gained weight and I lost my confidence. And I just could not completely accept and adapt to this massive change in my life. I did not share my pain with anyone. That pain gradually increased to the point where after 2 years that I wanted to end this pain forever. I lost hope and the desire to continue. So that's when exactly I decided to jump out of the window as all my aspirations drowned in the deep darkness of my helpless situation. Thankfully, I was saved from that from that attempt. Fast forward 10 years on from that day until today, I managed to take control and change my life. I have built a career as a coach and a keynote speaker where I now help others to live an abundant and purposeful life. And I have a loving family whom I adore and they adore me. So, how did I make this change? I did this through gaining an astronaut's perspective. Yes, I call it as an astronaut perspective because I named it after my childhood dream. You see, astronauts get to see the world from an entirely different point of view. They have the opportunity to break free from their current environment here on Earth and fly far into space. Then they can turn and look back at Earth from a completely different perspective. I'm not an astronaut. I did not live my dream of being an astronaut, but through my journey of transformation, I realized that it is possible to gain an astronaut's perspective without traveling to space. I lost my dream, but I found my purpose. So I have experienced an immense growth over a past decade until in 2021, we faced COVID. Today, I'm an entrepreneur, keynote speaker, and coach, where I'm getting opportunity to transform lives by helping them change their perspectives, to invite new beginnings with a positive change. But something changed in 2021 again. I thought I'm immune to any change and uncertainty as I overcome in the past, but this time it is different. In the last 15 months, I was forced to consistently apply this astronaut's perspective and reframe my mind. Reframing is one of the techniques that we use in NLP. So I faced a massive loss in my business that I can see all my savings are drained. I lost my family members, relatives to COVID, and friends to pandemic that impacted my mental and emotional health, causing anxiety and panic attacks that I had to rush to hospital to get treated in the middle of the night. I faced health issues like severe pain in my chest. I couldn't eat and sleep peacefully for months. How about you? Have any one of you lost your loved ones, relatives, or friends to pandemic? Have any one of you faced the loss in your business and job? I felt like I know how to fix all this, but my body, mind, and soul are not in alignment to support my efforts. Yes, I have been in the place to help others as a coach, but I'm not an exception if I'm not focusing on my self-care. That's when I decided to apply this astronaut's perspective once again. I learned my lessons from these uncertainties and painful experiences that left me paralyzed emotionally for months. I gained strength and realized I cannot pour from the empty cup. I decided to take a digital detox for 3 months to realign my thoughts and rediscover my life, inner strengths, to restart my life with a whole new perspective. I focused on self-awareness, self-care, and reflected back to remind myself why I started all this in the beginning, for my purpose. So within 3 months of digital detox, I reflected back, I realigned my life, and I managed to be physically and mentally better enough to get back on work, to work by getting on with my self-care routine and building meaningful human connections. And I managed to get certified and upgrade my skills as a coach in the areas of many different areas like leadership, personal development. I could be able to learn little more to take my career to the next level. I managed to save my business by securing more clients with more clarity, confidence, and courage this time. So clarity to find what are my strengths and weaknesses, and what is the vision of my life, and get more clarity on that. Confidence to face my fears and sabotage those self-negative talk. At times, those noises in our mind that kind of hinders our growth. So I gained confidence to face those fears, and I managed to gain the courage to pick myself up when I'm failing and falling, to bounce back quickly and build the resilience. I managed to create one online program and my coaching program, which is my signature program, as an astronaut's perspective based on my real-time life experiences of transformation of 10 years. And in this recent changes, which make me think and rethink and rediscover my life in a whole new different perspective, focusing on what matters more for me and what I care more in my life. So you see, the key to your transformation is unlocking this ability to take yourself out of your current situation and view your world from an entirely different perspective, just as astronauts do. I've learned that we cannot see the full picture until we can step outside the frame of negativity. And we cannot solve our problems with the same kind of thinking that we created it, as Einstein goes. So this to me is an astronaut's perspective, where you can step outside your current world and look back at it from a different viewpoint. So you can stop seeing just the problems and start finding the possibilities for growth. We are much more than our pain, fears, failures, and our purpose is much bigger than our own existence. No matter where you start after failing and falling, you can pick yourself up and start it all over again. We are given that strength. All that it takes is that first step to step out from the frame of negativity and apply astronaut's perspective, just like I did. And ladies and gentlemen, just like I found, to gain an astronaut perspective, I promise you, you need not to fly into space. You can do it from exactly where you are right now. Thank you.